What's going on, guys? Alex here. Right, I hope you all had a great Christmas, and I hope you all have a happy new year as well. Today we are out filming a living with the S3 video, so I'll be going over what it's like living with the S3 as a daily, going over costs, just in general what it's like to live with an S3. So first question I get asked a lot about living with an S3, what it's like on fuel. I mean, it's a lot of people are always interested in sort of like fuel economy and all that. Now, firstly, I didn't buy this car for fuel efficiency. I bought it because it's quite powerful, it's what I wanted at the time, so I didn't have fuel economy in mind. But it's not too bad considering it is a 2-litre turbo and it is also tuned to stage 1. So I usually average about low 20s, so 21 to 23 mpg when I'm driving it around town. So on my drive to work, just driving it from one place to another without really going on any motorways. I've just seen another, just seen a brand new S3 Saloon, so it's quite nice. But yeah, so I get low 20 mpg driving around towns and all that. Then when I'm on the motorway, it sort of creeps up to about 25 to 27, sometimes even 28 mpg. So it's not the most fuel efficient car in the world, but I'm more interested in miles per miles rather than miles per gallon. And to me, that's all that really counts. I mean, I don't want a boring car that you get in and when you're driving it about, you're just like, oh, this is so boring. So that's why I went for this car. Alright, so other costs. Every year you pay insurance. So I'm 22 years old, I've got 4 years no claims bonus. I missed out on 1 year when I bought the Fiesta ST. I was just like a couple months out of getting my extra year of no claims bonus. So unfortunately I'm on 4 years at the moment rather than 5. But I'm quite lucky. On this car I'm paying £700 fully comp, all mods declared. So £700 for the 1 year insurance on this, I can't argue with that. I mean, on my Fiesta I was paying about 700 as well. That was all mods declared for the year, fully comp. So yeah, I think it's because it's still a reasonably new car. Not that many have been written off, crashed, stolen and all that, which all helps towards the having lower insurance quotes. So that's another thing. If you're looking out for, if you're wanting to buy a new car, if you can afford it, buy a newer model, because on the databases, when you're getting insurance, on their databases they see, oh, it's a brand new car, it's got this safety, whatever it is that they do, all the safety tests and whatnot, and they see X amount has been stolen, X amount has been crashed and written off and all that. So that ups your insurance premium, because they see, if they see one type of car is more likely to be crashed, then they're like, oh, he might crash it, therefore put his insurance up in case we have to pay out. And same goes with being stolen. Like, a lot of the higher end Fords, they're quite, well, I'm not going to say easy, but they're quite well known for being stolen, like the Focuses and the Fiesta STs and RSs. It's literally something about, there's a blind spot in the alarm system, and thieves can just smash it, reach under to the OBD port and disable all of your alarm and just drive off with the car. So that's why if you're looking at those sorts of cars, they're a bit more expensive, because they're easy to be stolen. So other costs involved with the car, there's servicing, which on this model is done every 9,000 miles, which I only recently found out. I was like, why am I servicing it so much? I was used to my Fiesta, which was every 12 months or 12,000 miles, whichever came first. 12,500 actually, I think it was. So this one's every 9,000. So basically you just check it more often, just make sure it's all running smooth and fine and all that. So this one has two types of services, and I've done them both. One is a minor service, so that's where they just give it a check over, do your oil and all that, and that's about 150, 160 pounds, and usually takes a couple of hours. They'll literally just check over the whole car, change your oil and your oil filter, and that's it. And then you have your major service, which this is just done recently. I think it was at 18,000 miles it's done it, and that was everything. It was oil change, all filters, all that sort of stuff. I think they even changed my aircon liquid or fluid or whatever it is that is in the aircon. So I think they done all that. That was about £330 thereabouts. So that's your servicing costs. Depends how many miles you do a year. That'll either be more or less. So if you're lucky and just use your car every now and then you're probably looking at it just once a year. So every 9,000 miles or once a year. And yeah, I think it alternates. So once it's your minor service, then it's your major, then it's your minor, then it's your major, and it just keeps going like that. So it's the main thing is with the services, I've noticed, I think it's mainly to change the oil every 9,000, because being a 2-litre turbo, it can go through your oil quite quickly. So it's always better to make sure that's always topped up, and just that way everything's going smooth and no risk of breaking. So other consumables, you got your tyres and your brakes. Now brakes I done after the rally, so I know the price of them, but they were £330 for new discs and new pads fitted just on the front. I think the rears are going to be either the same or slightly cheaper just because they're a little bit smaller, but you're still looking, so if you're looking to do all 4 corners, you're looking at about £700 for sorting out all your brakes. So that's new discs and new pads. And then tyres, it depends who you choose to go with, so Pirelli, Michelin, Bridgestone, whatever. I've gone for Pirellis on mine just because I know the brand. I had them on my Fiesta and I was really happy with the tyres. And so at the moment I've got P0 Nero GTs. I went for the GTs because they're rated up to 186 miles an hour, which I wanted for when I went on the Rico Rally, because I wanted to try and max out the car. So I wanted tyres that would sort of handle top speeds and all that. So that's my reasoning for going for them. And they were, let's see, they were about £140 a corner, so about £560 for all 4 tyres. They were brand new. I got them when I got these the alloys on the car, so I got it all done at the same time. I went for them, really happy with them. The only thing I've noticed is now it's getting a little bit colder. They're not as grippy in sort of the wet and the icy conditions. So I'm thinking about sticking the original wheels back on and putting some winter tyres on there, as in February I will be driving to the Alps and going skiing again. So I want some better tyres for that. I definitely don't want to be doing that journey with these tyres, because I just know first icy corner and it's gone. So I'll probably update you guys when I do the winter tyres and just go through the choices of winter tyres that there are and why I chose whatever ones I go for, and yeah, just sort of do a review on them as well. So that's mainly the costs for driving. Well, not for driving, but well, yeah, I guess it is for driving. So that's mainly your main costs for drive. Petrol. So the car's got about a 50-litre tank. So I filled up the other day and it was about £57–58 from pretty much empty. So that's what you're sort of looking at. I mean, last tank I got 206 miles out of it, but that was a lot of just town driving and all that sort of stuff. I didn't really do many motorway miles. When I'm doing more motorway miles, I get between 300 and 350 miles out of it, so that's quite good. So moving along, let's go on to just what it's like living with it. So what is it like living with the S3? It's interior wise, it's amazing, it's comfortable, so long journeys, short journeys, whatnot, you know you're going to be traveling quite comfortably, which is a big bonus, especially for your passengers as well. They don't really want to be sat in a car that's sort of all bouncy all over the place. And like, the seats are amazing, they're really good seats to be sat in. Space wise, got plenty of leg space. I mean, being the driver, I don't really need much, so I'm always quite comfortable. Front passenger, plenty of leg space. Yeah, let's go have a look. I think there might be a little bit of rubbish, but yeah, so there is plenty of leg space in there, just ignore the tissues. Yeah, so plenty of leg space in the front for the passengers. In the back, it's quite decent. I've had 2 fully grown adults in there yesterday actually, and it was no problems. Quite comfortable. Just getting confused with my words between comfy and comfortable, but yeah. So long journeys, short journeys, that's perfect. So no real issues. My only main issue is with the boot. I find it quite small, but I think that's just because of me and the type of journeys I usually do. I drive down to Italy twice a year, so got quite a lot of luggage. Let me just move them out of the way. So the boot here, it's not the biggest boot in the world, but I can usually fit 1 suitcase in at the back and another one here. So you can fit sort of 2 normal size suitcases in there easily, and a couple of little bits and pieces extra. But that's why I've had to buy the roof box for the car, because with my journeys I do need that extra room. I can't fit everything in the boot of the car, so that roof box has really helped out. So if you are like me, you do quite a lot of driving holidays and you need to carry a lot of stuff with you, definitely opt for the roof box. I went for the Audi roof bars, because at least that way I knew that they fitted perfectly and wouldn't have any issues. Then I bought the fuel roof box, not the biggest one. I went for a sort of like medium one, because at least that way it wouldn't be too tall or too long for the car, and that worked amazingly. Fit loads of stuff in there, and yeah, it was just perfect. I managed to fit everything I wanted into the car, and yeah, so that was good. Definitely a good choice to go for if you do sort of long journeys and do need that extra space, because as I said, the boot isn't the biggest in the world. It's alright for like daily shopping, all that sort of stuff, but yeah, so I think that's about it for the living with video. I mean, it is a great car to live with. You got all the speed that you need, all the comfort, all the sort of toys and whistles that you need with it. And yeah, so if you are looking at getting an S3, I would definitely recommend it if it sort of fits what you need. If you want a bit of speed, if you want comfort and reliability and all that, definitely go for it. I mean, it's fairly cheap for what it is. I think now you can pick them up second hand for 25 to 30 grand. Still fairly low miles, so it is a lot of car for that sort of money. I mean, it is still 300 brake standard at the end of the day, so you've got a lot of stuff to play with. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to give it a like and leave me a comment with what sort of videos you want to see from me, as that always does help. So thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.